Well, hello, everybody. Let's see here. My stuff is going wonky. My stuff is going wonky. Oh, we have an echo. Gotta stop that right away. Okie dokie. So tonight we're going to finish the journal that I started. Hey, Tupac, how are you doing? Did you have a good birthday? I came in for your birthday, but I didn't see how it was finished. That one night I came in, you were incoherent. I was like, what? So I ran off some cards. Let me pull these out. I put them in the plastic bag so I wouldn't lose them because there's some tiny pieces. Not yet. I'll have to look at it. Nice. No, I've been busy to my dad having his heart attack, and he had to have open heart surgery. And then I stayed with my mom one night, and then today I got a little bit of tag craft done. I've been like all over the place, tired, worn out, mentally worn out. Let's see here. Which one do I want to add in that pocket? I think I will put either this one, maybe. I like this one. Let's see. Maybe this one. Is that too much now? This one's later. I don't know. I kind of like this one better though. Okay, so we'll do this one. There's Sandy. Yeah, it's been forever since we've spoken, Sandy. Oh, shoot. Tired. Hey, Kristen. Are you hiding again? So I'm going to cut this a little skinnier. And then I'm going to use this in this pocket. I'm going to finish decorating this journal today, and then it should be good to go. Still a little too wide. Hold on. Going to snip it a little more again. And I can either put it down in, or I might snip it here. And just do this to where you can actually see the butterfly on the flower. So there we go. That's cute. I have fun. I love Pinterest. I find all such cool stuff there. Terry, hey. How are you? I haven't been called Terry yet, but my doctor actually wrote out a prescription with me on my butt. Well, I should say the pharmacy put Tommy. They put Tommy on my prescription. I think that's funny. I said, do I look like a Tommy? Mm-hmm. But I haven't been called Terry yet. I actually had a really good friend when I was in middle school, me and Terry and Leonard were assigned to a table in art class. I got to share a school story. And Terry was so funny. He was like the best friend ever. And when we got to high school, how everybody separates, I was like, where in the heck did he go? So there was a couple people that in the town I lived in that had the same last name as him. And I asked, and they acted like they didn't know who he was. And I'm like, well, that doesn't make any sense because one of my friend's mothers married a guy with the same name, like he was a senior, like he could have been his dad. Well, come to find out, after school was over, because he like disappeared, I just assumed maybe he transferred or his family moved away or something. He actually was killed in a car crash. I was devastated. He was out, and that's why it was his dad that married my friend's mother, but he wouldn't talk about it because it was so painful. And I'm like, well, I didn't know that. I never met his family, but I guess he was out joyriding with some of his friends one night and they all got drunk and they hit something into a bridge and he was killed. That made me sick. I hate when stuff like that happens and you don't know. And I never knew, but he was a great guy. Sometimes I wonder how his life would have turned out. Kristen, there you go. There's my pitchfork, Lizzie. I swear to God, you should have that woman, you should have that name as a side one. I think she should make another fake account and call it Pitchfork Lizzie. I wonder what people would do. If you came up into a live stream under Pitchfork Lizzie Liz, they would be like, what? That would be hysterically funny. If you could make the name Pitchfork Lizzie and actually have the symbol on both sides of your name, I don't know how you do that on YouTube. That would be funny. Yeah, I know. It's awful. Oh my oh my goodness, Liz, that would be so funny. I don't know how you get the symbols in your name, though. I've seen people do it, but I don't know how they do it. Maybe tap the picture of the pitchfork and then Pitchfork Lizzie and tap the picture again. I don't know if it comes out like that or not. That would be so funny. Oh my goodness. You could do a fireball, a pitchfork, Pitchfork Lizzie, a pitchfork, and a fireball. Today has been so hysterical. Oh my goodness. Yes, it is horrible situations. It really is. But he was a very funny guy, though. He really was. We used to crack jokes and we'd get yelled at for talking. He had a good sense of humor. Well, hello, Supine. Long time no see. I just saw Supine in another stream here the other night. Thank you. But you guys are funny. We were cracking jokes all day today because I got an email and it was Tim Holtz's alcohol ink blower. And the first time I ever saw that thing, I said, well, that looks like a baby snot sucker. They call it a baby booger sucker, but I call it a snot sucker. You know those plastic tubes you squeeze I never used one of them on my kids because I was always afraid it would take their breath away. Because you stick it in their nose and you suck it and it's supposed to pull the snot out of their nose. Don't get grossed out, but they do have them. People buy them for people's baby showers and stuff. I never used them. I always used Q-tips for my kids and stuff because I was afraid of those things. Well, they have them now that when you're creating art, you spray alcohol inks like down and you suck it up with paper and then you squeeze the Tim Holtz one and it blows the stuff and that's exactly what it looks like. I about died when a picture of it came into my email today. I had some laughs. I thought it was absolutely hysterical. I'll show you guys. I'm not kidding. And the baby one only cost 6 something, where the Tim Holtz one is $11.99. Look, I'll show you. See, it's called the Tim Holtz Alcohol Ink Blower. If it was upside down, it would look just like this. That's the baby snot sucker. And it's $6.99 for this one. The only difference is the tip is a little skinnier on the Tim Holtz, but Tim Holtz is charging $11.99 for a baby snot sucker. I swear that's what it looks like to me. And all you do is pump it and blow air and push your ink around. But that's what it looks like. I see funny things in craft supplies. I can't help it. I laugh so hard. Oh my God. I still think it's hysterical that people redesign something and then they add a bigger charge. Liz, where are you at? It's hysterical. We were laughing so hard. It was so funny. That's what it looks like. Oh, I'm not cooking, Sapine. I'm just working on my journal. I need to finish it. Sapine is funny. Yes, the mucus sucker. Oh my God, that's so funny. I don't know. I get laughs off of goofy things. Okay, let's see here. Liz, she's probably over there busting her gut like, I can't believe her. She knows how goofy I am. Hi, Sandy. Sandy does too. I can't help it though. I thought that was absolutely hysterical when I saw it. It had me on a good laugh today. I needed a good laugh. So I'm going to take this and round the edges with my little We Are Memory Keeper. I love this thing. It rounds your edges and makes your craft stuff look so cutesy. So we'll tuck that there. All I needed to do is finish dressing this one. And if you don't know what a junk journal is, I only use bookstore, and sometimes the books are falling apart. And I would just recycle whatever, but I met the junk journaling community on YouTube, and I learned there's other things you can do. So these are actually real leaves off of yellow roses because that's my favorite flower. So I pressed them. All right, all right, Liz. And I decoupaged them to the book cover. And then I added some leaves I found in my grandmother's dictionary. Then I stuck bloom. These are stickers. And this is duct tape, this green. So I redid the book. But I like the inside of the book, so I left it the same. And then what you do is you sew in signatures. So you fold pages. And I took the pages out of the book because the book was falling apart. And I made 4 signatures in this book. And what that means is just papers folded or whatever you want to add. And then you take and you sew them back into the book and you turn it into a journal. That's what a junk journal is. And it's upcycling, and you add things you're going to throw away, like our papers laying around. Some people use advertisements, children's book pages, whatever you feel like, stick it in. And then you decorate it. Well, hey there, Peg. Peg is the crypt keeper. He will always be Peg to me because that's what I met him under. And so this book here, you know, you can salvage what's in the book as long as you can, but I love this picture. And then this is washi tape to I put in because I thought it looked vintage, and plus the the green duct tape was kind of poking up, so this kind of holds it into place. So then I'm just decorating it. And I wanted to make this more about yellow type flowers because that's the time I like yellow. And I put some fall leaves in here. These are just window clings. And then this was a page of a book. This was a scrapbooking paper. This piece of paper came all the way from Australia. My friend JD made this. And then this was an envelope. I think she sent, when I bought one of her journals, it was extra mail. And then this is another window cling. And this here is the side tuck. So we need to stick something in there. And some of these pictures, when you make it for yourself, it doesn't matter if you use copyrighted stuff. But if you sell your journals, you cannot use copyrighted stuff because you can't. It's illegal. So what I do is I go to Pinterest and find some really pretty pictures for my journals. But there are websites out there that have copyright-free images for you to go get them so you don't get in trouble. But I'll use them in my personal ones. I just won't use them in the ones I sell. And then this is a 3D butterfly card. Even greeting cards. You know, if you have old greeting cards, birthday cards, and stuff like that, don't throw that stuff away. Save it because we love that kind of stuff. We can cut the very front of the card off and use it for journaling cards. Then this was a window cling. These are the kind of stuff that's hard to find because most of the time, if a person has an estate sale, usually they only put like furniture or like yard sales. You never find the things we're looking for. That's why it makes it so hard for us, because we want your cards, like regular bicycle playing cards, whatever card you have, if you don't even have the full deck, because we use those to decorate to stick in our journals. And it's hard to find that because a lot of people throw out papers. Hey, Frozen. They throw out, how are you doing this evening? They throw out like all the papers and they don't save that stuff because they don't know what to do with it, but we do. Pamphlets, you know, if you have pamphlets laying around with old radios or, you know, old car books, any type of manuals, all that stuff is amazing to us crafters because we like that stuff. Steampunkers really like that stuff. Now, when you do a calendar page, it's always going to be upside down where your numbers are. No, I did not sew this page in upside down. A calendar is a flip book. The picture on the calendar is actually upright. So I wanted it for the center signature, but the numbers are upside down. But that's okay because you can cover this with something. So it's all right. But I like that picture of that falls. And I like because it had some yellow leaves up in there. And then here's an up tuck. So let's see what we can stick there. So we'll put this in that one. I think I'm going to round the corners off on this one too, though. This is all about decorating tonight. And I will be writing in this journal. I actually made this for myself because I wanted to have a cute journal with yellow roses and yellow flowers because I love them. And then this is not was part of that butterfly card. So what I did was I put washi tape on the corner and then I added another picture. And then here is what we call an altered paper clip. An altered paper clip can be anything from sticking a charm on it to putting a piece of fabric on it to covering the whole entire paper clip and making it still where it slides down as a clip. That's what an altered paper clip is. Hey, Diana. And then here's the back part of that envelope. You can cut across the top and have a little peak spot there. So there's a card there too. So you can put that there. And then here's the other side of that music page. And then this is a window cling that I got off of Texas Sparkle that just came in. See, you're going to see how I use some of your stuff, Viv. Texas Sparkle's in Viv too, Frozen. She's in Texas. You want to hear a guy jam out on his guitar, people? You go watch Frozen Fury. Because that boy could jam. I gotta catch up. Hey, Viv. I love having eclectic taste, even on my YouTube channels, because it's awesome. So, Viv, look what I did. Do you remember when I bought these off of you? These came from Texas Sparkle. Remember these? And this is one of them. These go into decorate journals. I'll show you where I use. There's a leaf there. There's a leaf there. Look how pretty these decorate journals. There's an acorn there. Looky there. That's down a whole page. See, these window clings, all you got to do is glue them. And they turn into ephemera. So there we are. Okay, now we keep going. There's a little map type paper. This was a book page. And then here's a little tag pocket. I think what I wanted to do with this was put this one in here. Wait a minute. No. I want to do one of these ones. Yeah. Take this one out. And then for that, this is what you can use fabric for. I have these little pieces of fabric that I have used. I like taking these strips and cutting them. Let's see here, wait a minute before I go cutting this. Kind of measure a little bit of how long I want it to be. That's not my fabric scissors. Got to pull out my lethal weapon. You got to watch these scissors. Ooh, they're sharp. And then what you do with this, thank you. We'll come in the back with this. I think this is how I do this. Pull this up through. And try not to rip your paper, because I've done that before too. Got to be very delicate when you go to make tags on here sometimes with fabric, because I have ripped them before. And I probably got it backwards, but that's okay. It happens. Or if you don't want it that thick, another thing you can do is take it back off. Take your handy dandy scissors. Get it started, and oh, that didn't work. Sometimes you can rip fabric and sometimes you can't. That's okay. We'll finish cutting it. That's what's nice about live streams, though, you can see our bloopers. I was going to rip it, but it didn't work. Okay. So we'll make it a little skinnier. I can't remember if I go through the front or the back. Let me see what happens when I go through the front, because it could go either or. No, it's going to go through the back. and then up through the loop. There, I did it better that time. Okay. And then what you do is you come up here, clip it about right there, and there's a tag. Yeah, I have a bunch of fingernail polish from when I had my makeup days. So I'm trying to use it up. And this is just a card. This is what you call an eclectic style because it's different size papers. Then here's some plants and flowers. These are like magazine pages. This is a real doily. Sometimes you can use a real doily or sometimes you can scan a doily and use it. And then this here was a upside down page that I stuck in here with words on it because it don't matter. Because I was planning on decoupaging. This is a napkin that I decoupaged over that page. You get to tear the layers off your napkin and the words show through. So that was fun. And then I'll probably do something on the back of that one. And then there's more, and here's a piece of cardstock. And then here's the center of the second signature. And the signatures are cute because you can decorate these too. You can leave them really long down the back side and turn them into bookmarkers, or you can hang beads from them, or another thing I like to do is punches. I'll punch out little pictures with my punches and I glue them to each side so that I have little dangles with pictures. Then we skip through this. This is that. This is another Viv. I think you sent this as a sticker on one of my packages. I tore it off as slow as I could so that it wouldn't break. Then here's another flower page. And that's the second signature. And this here I left as a tuck right there. It's all in how you glue it. I glued it here, here, and here to leave this as an up tuck. And then I will take this piece of cardstock. And there you go. Or a bigger piece, which is this one. And you can have that as a little up tuck as a decoration. Haley. There's Haley. There's my adopted niece. Uh-oh. Hey, Dana. Will you take care of Vinny and tell him no snoring in the hospital, Haley? You know I had to put it in there. I call Vinny the snore bear. And then this came in extra mail. This was a laminated picture. And then I just put that picture on it to make it look pretty. And then here's another altered. It's a leaf, a charm. And then we go into this page. And then this is all about gardening with a picture that came out of a book. And then I put this picture in there and this, and this could even be used to hold a photo. And I found that on Pinterest. I love that picture. And then we go into another calendar picture. It says fresh sunflowers. Look how pretty that is. And I like that for a center of the signature because I thought it was cute. It says fresh sunflowers. And then you turn it here. And then this here is a little side tuck. I was playing with something. I forget how I made this. I think it was a thick box and a die cut, but the die cut didn't cut through it because it was too thick. So I just left it imprinted. So we can take another tuck and set it there. So I'll take one of the skinny pieces I have left. And it doesn't got to be perfect. That's the one thing too. It's fun about junk journals is it can look junky. We'll bring this through the back. If you only seen what I went through to Google this piece of fabric. Ugh. I was working on a project and I ran out and I didn't have the name of it. And I found it to finish the project. Thank gosh. And I'm so glad because I ordered like a yard of it. I think I found it in an Etsy store, but I love this fabric. It's got like, here's a big piece of it. And I got different pieces. But look how pretty this is. Because this is what we use our scraps for. But this is the actual fabric. It's got butterflies and florals. I love this piece of fabric. But you should have seen me trying to Google this without a name. I kept putting butterfly fabric and oh my goodness. Well, that was definitely not narrow enough. Or it was too narrow. Because there's like thousands of butterfly fabrics. And I taped it in. It took me like 3 days to find it. But it finally popped up and I was like, yes. Used to be you could take a picture of something, put it on your computer, and drag and drop it into your search engine. And it would automatically take you to where it came from. But it didn't work for that for some reason. So we'll save another piece up here just to try a different color piece of fabric. But I was like, holy moly, just to find a piece, you know? So let's see. We got that done. We got this piece. That piece. More flowers. And then this here is a double tuck. Here and here. Another piece of that laminated board. And then this teeny tiny up here. I'm going to put this little tag here. And then I had a stamp looking type die for my die cut machine. So I'm going to put that over there. Put a couple little tiny ones in here. And then there's an open spot. I always like having something in my pockets. And here's another charm that's got a flower. And then we go into some more flower pages. That's pretty. I don't know if you guys could see that or not. It's like a gray with white butterflies. And that looks like a kid's book page. Look how cute she is. And then here's this. And then even if you have leftover paper, you don't have to cut it. You can turn it into a flip out. And then here's another distressed one I made. Put in here, I should say. More flower pages. There's a blue page, cardstock, blue. And then this is the bottom of that envelope. Oh, got to have something to stick in there too. Running out of pictures again. I'll have to make one for that one. And then we have a tuck here, which is where this can go. And we can just take this and stick it out the side to give it a double look. And I'm down to these 3 pieces. So we'll go back through. Let's see here. Kind of like the yellow in this though. This might be too small. And I have a scrap pile I put my little stuff in case I use it for something else. Except for if it's too little, I'll pitch it. But we'll do... Do I want to put something in that or leave it? That's the question. Let me see here. This might be too thin. Let me see here. I'll take it up through. Oh, that's kind of cute. So we will take and cut this. And leave that stick there. Cutesy. It's cutesy. Okay, and this is the only one that doesn't have anything in it. So let's go back here. I'll see if I can find something here in a second. We'll go back to that little... We can take this and put it in front of that one. And then... Where's that little tiny envelope at? Got a little one in here somewhere. I'm looking. Oh my goodness. You're so funny. I can't believe you. That is freaking awesome. She did it. She did it. I love it. Oh my God, Liz, you're a riot. Welcome back, Pitchfork Lizzie. Hey, Nikki. I love it when people make up some fun IDs. Oh my gosh, that's hysterical. That is so funny. I can't wait for the first sale you bring that into, Liz. They're going to be like, what? Oh my gosh, that's adorable. Pitchfork Lizzie. Oh my gosh, she cracks me up. Okay, we'll put this in here too. We're gonna scare people, Liz. That looks cute. I think you should. Oh my gosh, that's a riot. She'll be like, oh no, we know what mood Liz is in tonight. Oh my gosh, that's hysterical. You use those when you use that one when you have a bad day, Liz. When you feel like using that little pitchfork of yours. Oh shoot, I have another one. I missed this one. This might be big enough if I can pull it off. Let me see if I can. I don't know though. It's gonna be tight. if I can get this in here. Sandy. Hey, I got news for you. Sandy needs to come out with her own channel. Liz. We're gonna make up a channel for Sandy. We're gonna call it Sassy Sandy Spills the Tea. Nobody will know it's her except us. That would be absolutely hysterical. Sassy Sandy Spills the Tea. There, that worked. And that was a scrap one. Check that out. I don't think I have any yellow Nuvo drops, though. I don't think so. This is cute, though. This turned out really cute. I'm happy with it. All I got to do is fill this in. What am I going to use? Let me see. I'll leave this here. I won't mark it with the fabric. Put this away. We got to find ephemera. With all the Sunny Fun Time mails I have, I should have something to put in that pocket. Right beside me, do I have anything? Probably not. Hold on, I have to hit my ephemera basket. See if I can find something to go in here. Let's see what I got. Let me see. Do I have anything with flowers? No, that's not that. What's this? Ooh, this might work. Let me see. Pull one of these out. This is actually really pretty. I hope it's not too big. And it probably will be. Of course. It's a postcard. Well, darn it. I don't want to cut the postcard in half because I like it. Let's see what this is. Oh, oh. Well, these are pretty too. These may be too small. These cards are so gorgeous. Some of these ladies, these are so pretty. And then look at the other side. Look how beautiful those playing cards are. And that's too small. I feel like Mom and Papa Bear with that porridge is too big. And that one's too small or too cold or the bibs or whatever it was called. Oh, Laura, I finally opened up your Happy Mail and did a video today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is so stinking cute. Laura spoiled me with the Happy Meal today. I don't know when it'll air, but I did do a video opening of it today. I got behind in my mail. Oh, Laura, she did it. Look at her. She made the pitchfork Lizzie. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Oh, woman. Okay, back to the drawing board. What can we put in that pocket? How about, let me see here. Let's try this. Okay, about right there. Good. Let's see. Ha. We will make something to go into that pocket. How about that? So, let's do, you see here. Ooh. We'll make something from scratch that we can put in here. Do, 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 do. Yeah. Okay. We will take this and we're going to do a little bit more of a pointed edge. Put on here. And then I'm going to pull out my little distressing pad because I want to distress and play with my distressing pad. We're going to go in with, I think I'd better know these by now. This is ground espresso. And this is what we do. We're going to grunge it. Because I like to grunge sometimes. Okay. Put my towel over top of it so I don't get it everywhere. Let's get fancy. Let's do some fancy stuff. Okay. So let's do this sunflower. Get my glue. My wonderful, lovely Venus tacky glue. And we shall glue this side up. Glue, 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 glue. I'll leave that there for a second because I'm going to do this piece first. We're going to glue this side too. We're going to put this over here like so. And then we're going to take the sunflower and we're going to put it here like so. And then get my baby wipe over here because we like our baby wipes. And wipe my glue bottle off because I have a habit of sticking my glue and then they stick and I can't get it back off. Okay. And then what can we play with? Well, let's see. Something you guys haven't seen me play with on here for a little while. Let me check in here real quick. Let's go with, oh, I guess I do have yellow. But do I want to use yellow? I guess I could. Let's get some yellow in here. And let's try a little bit. I love these dream drops. They're so awesome. And let's go with, this will have to dry. Liquid pearls. And yeah. So these are the products we're going to play with. I love the newest. There's the Nuvo Crystal Drops, Dream Drops, and then we have Liquid Pearls from Ranger. So this is what we are going to do with this card. We'll leave this open because that's pretty much done now. All I got to do is get this card in that pocket. And then we're good. So what I'm going to do with this is, if you guys have ever seen the sticker dots that you get like in the Dollar Tree, you can make them with these. So we're going to go in the corner here. We're going to make drops. It's just, I think you get more out of these bottles. Again, oops, get this a little closer. And let me get, here. Need a book or something to prop this up on. Oh, this here. See how you get these little stickers like this? You can get these at the dollar store. That's what these drops pretty much make, to give you an idea what I'm talking about. So, darn it, I'll just use the journal. I don't know if this will prop it up high enough. But this is what it looks like with the drops. Put it up on something else. I don't have anything to stack it on near me. Oh, here, this might work. I'll use a little guillotine. Okay, so we have a little bit higher. I wish I had. I don't think that would work. I don't think that color would mesh. I'm a thinking. I was gonna do some stickles, but I don't think I have anything that matches this. So then we're gonna come over here in the corner and we're gonna add a pearl drop. And you can see the difference in the drops. I'll show you. This is the Ranger one, and it gives more of a pearlescent look. This is more the old-fashioned. It says, add dimensions and details to graph projects. This is more like it says a dandelion yellow. It's more like a old-fashioned yellow, but look at the difference. And then you have a pearlized look with the pearlized Ranger. Now this one here's got a shimmer, the Nuvo Dream Drops. So we're going to add a little bit of this because I want to give it a little bit of a different color. I wasn't going to put you there, but okay, you can spit there if that's where you want to go. Try not to make a dip on the top of it. You got to kind of twirl it to give it a round look. And the green's got like a really pretty shimmer to it. This is called Dragon Scales. I love this color. It's beautiful. And then it gives it a green, like a minty green look. And then I'll let that dry. But I do want to add sparkle to this. So I'm not much of a glitter person, but see what I can pull out of my, really? Huh. That was junk. Hold on. Let me see if I can get any out of this. Huh. That got stuck. I can't get it out. The point of it stuck up in the lid. My luck. Well, we don't have to use silver. We can use gold. That tube is broke. These are Elmer's glitter sticks, glitter glue type things. I don't like the regular bottle glitter glue because you don't get glitter. But this here, kind of like how I use these, kind of like how I use stickles. See, this is supposed to have a point on it. And this one's stuck up in the lid. It won't come out. So this tube's almost empty anyways. So we're going to take, okay, let's get you started because it's been a while. And we'll put a dot right here in the center of the dandelion, if it'll let go. Let go. There we go. But I use stickles to highlight stuff. And that's what these are. Oh, no, that's liquid pearl, sorry. This is stickles. They're very shimmery, shiny. But blue is not going to go with this, so. But I like them for accents. So now we have glitter glue in the center. And then this will dry overnight. And voila, we have our last card. Okay, so that's good. May. She busted you, Liz. That's so funny. Look what she did. She's finally did it, May. She became our pitchfork Lizzie. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. All right, hurry back. Hey, Shahid. Welcome to the stream. Gotta watch out for that pitchfork Lizzie, though. She'll get you. This is funny. Let's see how you look now, Liz. Type something in the chat room. We got to see what. Yeah, I took and I turned your pitchfork Lizzie blue. I was waiting for you to type something in. I wanted to see what it looked like blue between the pitchforks. That's so funny. I love it. May, you better watch her. She's going to test us sometimes and she's going to poke us with her pitchfork to see if we're done. I remember my mom used to do that. She would joke around in the kitchen and she would poke us with the fork. Are you done yet? I said, Mom, come on. She used to pick on us. Okay, so we're going to let this dry. I think it turned out cute. So we got little pearls in the corner. We got the little doodad in the center. And that's the last journaling card. So that'll sit and dry. And then the journal's finished. Liz is a ride. I love it. And we'll put all of our goodies back. Except for this. I don't know if I can squeeze anything out of the tube or not, but that's broke. I'll have to try it. See if I can get anything more out of it. I did like that though. And then this is my little basket of goodies. These are my wonderful Nouveau drop collection. And then I have this in green. I'm not impressed with this like I am the mousses. I love the mousses better. These are the metallic gilding polishes, and they come with the little hickey-majigger on the top. I'm not impressed with them, but if you use these as stencils with the paintbrush, awesomeness. It's trial and error when you go to play with stuff. This is the ones with the sponges. But I wasn't impressed using the sponge on these, but just a tip, they work wonderful with paintbrushes. Then I have these ones. This is my other sparkle. These will be fun to play with a paintbrush too. Love the rose gold. Oof. I wonder why they put them in such big containers though. When I ordered these, I thought they were this. They were going to be in like this size of a bottle. But I guess their glitters come in something bigger. I only got 2 colors. But the Nouveau drops, I would have to say my favorite are the Dream drops. I think the shimmers in those are so pretty. But I have, this is another Dream drop. This is a Dream drop. And then I have the regular crystal drops. Those are crystal, 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 crystal. These are all crystal here. And then there's glitter drops. Here's the glitter drops. I only got 2 of the glitter and 2 of the dream, and the rest are all crystal drops. But then the ranger drops are cute, pretty too. I got a liquid pearl. Look at the difference in size though. Like you get a lot more with the Nuvo than you do the ranger. They're a lot bigger. I never looked at the price point, but I like trying different stuff. And then my stickles. Here's another liquid pearl. I keep my stickles in a different area. And here's my last 2 that's, I gotta get my clean ones down here. And then these I found at the dollar store. These I haven't tried yet, but they're wipes for your electronics to use on your screens. So I bought a package of those. You get 25 sheets. Sometimes you can find some good stuff at the Dollar Tree, but I haven't tried those yet. And then this came with my BB Crafts when they had me order beads off of them. I got my whole set to play with jump rings and stuff if I decide to create dangles. So I keep those nearby. And this is my first dangle from BB Crafts I ever created. They probably thought, man, this woman's nuts. Because I had to stick eyelash trim in it because I thought they were pretty. I had a hell of a time getting that sucker through them beads. But this was a chain, and I always got to do my own thing. But it took me forever to get that through. That's probably why they never sent me anything again. Because I did something different. And I kept squeezing it through that bead. It took forever for me to get the eyelash trim through them, but I thought it turned out pretty. I actually like that dangle. I like spiky dangles. Trouble. Hey, Safita. Thank you. It is. I love the goodies I get. I'm still yet to open more mail I've got. I haven't even opened May's box yet. It's killing me because I can't wait to play with alcohol inks. I haven't done that yet. So it's going to be fun. So, of course, I have another vision in my mind how to play with them than what I've seen. So we shall see how that turns out. I'll be making a mess. So I decided that I'm going to play the first time with alcohol inks in front of everybody so you can see all my screw ups and bloopers because I like bloopers. So we can laugh. Yeah, that's my little plastic container of goodies. So we'll see what happens next Wednesday because I haven't decided what I'm going to play with yet. When next Wednesday comes. Let's see what I can do in this. I feel like I want to do another napkin in this. Maybe. I don't know. Or I could. I don't know if I have any of my little punches down here or not. I think they're all upstairs. Oh, but I could, I guess, use this. Let me see. What do I have down here? Mostly edge trimmers. Oh, here's one, but I think that's just a 3D one. Let's see. Don't know if this will work or not, but we shall try it. I think that's a little too big. Let me see. Maybe not. Let me try this. Well, just with that wipe. Oh, there it is. We shall do. Hold on, let me fix this first. Darn it. Give me a second. And that there. This piece, I'll use this. She's got a pretty color to it. Okay. Let's try this. No, my butterflies are flying away. Okay. I know, I do mine upside down, but I like seeing where they're at. Get off my scissors. Okay. Two, 4, 6. 2 on the floor should be enough. Yeah, see my whites? Woo! I'm letting all my whites grow in. One thing is nice about it, though, is they're growing in as streaks. It looks like I'm highlighting my hair. Some lady says, I like the way yours is growing in. I decided to be a granny. Diana. Are you being good, college? No, I'm not using the snot suckers for my inks. I don't have any snot suckers. If I did, I would. That would be funny. That would be a funny demonstration. Is using the snot suckers. Oh my goodness, that's so funny. Okay, let's put these over here. My beautician tells me, she says, there's girls that pay hundreds of dollars to get that streak in their hair, and it's coming natural through mine. I said, that's okay, as long as it's not a dirty dishwater. Sure. Dirty dishwater gray, we're good. Let me get this over here. Okay. So this is what I'm going to do with my signatures. I could have been lazy and used not been lazy and used different colors, but we're just going to do this color because I think it's pretty. So I'll take this and set it down. I'm putting glue in the center of the butterflies. And then what you do is you take your piece of signature in the center and you put it right in there and buried in the glue. Then you take the other one and you flip it over. And hold it to make sure the glue holds. And just lay it down. Then we do the next signature the same way. This is what I like doing with mine. I like having little dangles hanging off of them. Sometimes I do beads, but I kind of think this is cute. Make sure it's straight. Quit curling on me. Stay there. And let that dry for a few minutes, a few seconds. Pull out my little dryer over here. Sorry if I'm noisy. Just dry the glue a little faster. And then they could either hang up like that, or they both can hang down. And you have two butterflies. And then you go to the next signature. Some people hide their signatures and some people don't. My glue is wanting to be drippy today. Drippy, trippy. Try to get it to the edge. Another set. Yes, glue, I see you. You don't got to be so drippy over here. Okay. Because I have it laying down on the side is why it's doing that. Drippy glue. And here's the next set. Oh. Why? I have a makeup tutorial on my page. That's when my hair was dyed. I let my hair grow white when COVID hit. I could color it again, but I just don't feel like it. So here we have the second one. And we go into number 3. I don't have any beads close to me. Let me see here. I don't know if I have any that match. Let's see. You can use buttons. You can use beads. It's the same one. There it is. I have beads, but I don't have them. Oh, let's see if this one matches. I don't know if there's a hole in this or not. Maybe not. I thought it had a hole in it like a bead, but I'm not seeing it. I'm blind. I could have sworn these were beads, but I guess not. I don't know what else you would use these for. Oh well. Let me see here. See if I can find a couple more. I see some in the bottom. Hold on, we're gonna make a mess. I want to find a couple. I'm determined. These are flat backs. These are too bulky, even if they were beads. There's a bead. I don't think it'll fit though. The hole's going to be too small. Yeah, these are too big. This one's pretty. See, this cord's too big. You need like a smaller string. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get that in there. Darn it anyways. I was going to put a couple beads on this, but it's not going to work out that way. So, let's see. I don't even know if a button would work. Probably not. Oh, it might be. Get in here. Ooh, we have a winner. So then all you got to do is once you get the buttonhole in, is make a knot in the tip of your string like that. And then there you go. You have a button in your signature. That's cool. Let me find another one. Like almost the same color. Maybe, maybe not. Because some of them won't match. It doesn't matter if they match though. This one's cute. If I can get the... That's what I said. Signatures on these are a lot of fun. Because there's so many things you can add to these. Like the paper, the buttons. Get this one in here. Yay, we have another winner. Okay, so we're going to put this on here. Tie a knot again so your button don't fall off. And voila. You get 2 buttons on that signature. And like I said, if you leave them low enough, they can hang out of the bottom of the book. Unless it's a book you want to set upright, and then you don't want to use that. If it's a book you want to set upright, I don't leave my signatures hang out. I just do the paper ones. And let's see what we can add to this page. We did a couple butterflies. Let's see if we have another yellow button. Let's see here. This is cute. There's different things that people sew the signatures on with too. This is a hemp cord. Some of them use fishing line, which is very sturdy. Fishing line's really good for signatures and books. Some of them use the floss that you use for embroidery. I actually found this hemp cord at Walmart in different colors, so that's what I use for these signatures. We have another yellow type button. But you got to be careful when you do your signatures and not to pull them too tight, because if you do, they break, and that sucks. I've had that happen too. Because then you got to take your signature apart and redo them again. Nope, that's too small of a yellow button. Darn it. Here, this one might work. Yeah, that works. And then this should be done. So we have another button. Yep, so the signatures are finished with their little decorations. They can dangle down. And that's another thing you wanted to take into consideration when you are doing your signatures is to leave them long enough that they can dangle something outside, or I cut them short so that it's inside. So that's cute. So that turned out pretty good. And then there was something else I saw. All this. See how that's a little flat back there? And I added different colors in there. I'm going to add that too. Come on, glue. Why you gotta be goofy? See, I lay my glue down because it takes forever to get to the bottom when it's almost empty. But then if you lay it on the side and you have the lid off, it has a tendency of dripping. So I'm going to put that on the outside. I think that's cute. Add a little bit more to it. Okay. So this is what we do. We keep playing with stuff and we keep fixing stuff, and that's what crafters fun is about. This is actually a great value minced garlic. Minced garlic, a little plastic container. You can cover it and turn it into a little button holder. That's what I did. Shut up! I'm over here playing in my little button jar. You like Liz's name? Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I can't wait till she mods for May with that name. And Liz, you have every right if somebody gets lippy with you the night you mod for May, say, see this name? Don't mess with me tonight. That's so funny. I love it. You're in trouble. Tell them they better have their big girl pants on to mess with Pitchfork Lizzie. Yeah, there's buttons and flat backs and a whole bunch of different stuff in here. You know, I think some of this stuff was it was a surprise Christmas bag, and it had mixed stuff in it, like these little flowers. I think this came from Rosie's Crafty Shack's sale. She has some really cute stuff at times. I like nibbing to see what everybody's got. I've been doing a lot more window shopping here lately, though. But it's because me and hubby's working on our pantry. We're trying to get stuff in order for our inflation that's about to hit us even harder. So we get a good pantry started, though, so I'm good. And then we got this great big plastic drum that we're filling with water just for purposes like when we've had water line breaks and stuff like that up here. I always keep an extra dish pan and bleach and dish soap so that all I have to do is swish it. You know, I can heat it up because we have a grill and we have a fire pit with a grill on it. So we can always heat up the water if need be, if the electric's not out too. But I'm always a planner. I can't help it. It's in my nature as a Girl Scout. I learned how to do that kind of stuff. I even learned how to cook on the bottom of a coffee can, but then they changed coffee cans to plastic containers. But if you take a coffee can and you cut a dome where the lid goes on each side and you flip it upside down, you can build a fire under it and cook pancakes on the bottom of it. That's what we used to do. We used to do stuff like that all the time. I miss being a Girl Scout. And a treat that's really good, if that I showed my daughter how to make, because she's got a fireplace. You want to make a really cool treat. We learned this by the campfire as a Girl Scout. We used to go stay at the cabins. That was a lot of fun too. You take a banana, you leave the peeling on it, and you cut a flap all the way down the length of your banana, and you flip the flap back. You take a spoon and you dig the banana out into a bowl, but you leave the shell of the banana peel. You mix the banana with a little bit of marshmallow, like not marshmallows, but marshmallow topping. Or you probably could use marshmallows too, like the little ones. And then take chocolate chips and mix that in. And then you spoon it back into the shell of the banana and you wrap it up. You put the flap down and you wrap it up in aluminum foil and you stick that in the embers of a fire. It is so good. The chocolate chips and the marshmallows melt into the banana. And then when you pull it out, you eat it with a spoon after it cools down a little bit. It's delicious. It's a very, very sweet dessert that you can make by campfire. Another thing we used to do is they had these round things. I don't know what those things were called, but it was a great big metal thing that opened up and you put an English muffin in it with pizza sauce and pizza toppings, and you closed it and you put that in the fire and you could make little pizzas. There was all kinds of things we learned how to do when I was a Girl Scouts. I miss it. Girl Scouts today, though, like, I don't know. When my daughter was in it, my youngest, they didn't do anything. All they made was a paper towel roll holder. I'm like, really? That's something we did in shop class in school. But we had to earn our badges. We had to go out and make tents out of sticks, and they had to stand up too. And we had to do things to show survival skills, or we didn't get our patches. I have my patches around here somewhere. I still have them. I was of the Black Diamond is the name of our troop we had. Girl Scout cookies. Yum, yum, yum. My favorite Girl Scout cookies, Thin Mints. But I never forgot what I learned in Girl Scouts. We had to plan and do all kinds of fun stuff. Oh, looky what I found. I found a stray bead. And it's blue. Let's stick that in here too. Can't lose the little blue bead. But this is what I fill up with excess stuff. I keep this filled, and then when it goes down, I replenish it. And this is the jar I kept from the quilter's estate. She had made this. And I think this looks like a peanut butter jar, but that's a ball lid. And these were the buttons I kept from her estate when I had that live estate sale a while back. But I sold like, oh my goodness, I forget how many pounds of bags those buttons were in. I filled like a lot. And I sold them for like $8 a piece. I forget how many pounds they were. I know Angela Chronic got one. But that I divided all her buttons into separate containers, and then I sold the rest because I knew I wasn't going to use them all. I wish I could get a hold of another estate sale like that. That was fun. There was a lot of stuff in that. What did I do with my lid? Oh, there's another stray button trying to run away. Where's my glue lid? Really? Tammy, did you lose your glue lid? I hope not. That would suck. I don't know what I did with it. I think I lost my glue lid, people. I don't see it on the floor either. There's a piece of cardboard. I don't know what I did with it. This is almost dry, though. Oh. I don't know what happened to it. Huh. It's not on my desk. On my table. I lost the glue lid. Oh, where it went? Oh, here's a sneak peek of what Laura sent me in a Happy Mail. Isn't that cute? It's a little pony. I have it sitting right here by my laptop. She sent me a cute Happy Mail. Darn it. What am I going to put over this? I don't have any plastic down here. Like a little piece of plastic is what I'll have to put on this to finish using my little glue bottle. Darn it anyways. It's always something, people. Always. Never a dull moment. That's what I'm going to have to do. Because I'm not going to find that lid. It's too tiny. I just don't know what I did with it. Come on, glue. It drained the big bottle. The big mama bottle. I'll just do this instead. I'll just make it easier. Here, you can sit like that till you drain. Put you over here in the corner. Always something, always something, always. Okay, so do the flip through. We have this tuck here. This here. And then this here. I'm in the middle of using a journal right now, but I think I'm going to use this as my next one. And we have the little butterflies. We have that tuck there. Cutesiness. Then we have this here. No, I didn't put it in a drawer. I laid it somewhere. I have a habit of doing that. Most of the time I can find it, but tonight I'm too tired to be bothered. Then we get these here. There's a little napkin. Usually I set it like right here beside me where the glue comes from, or I set it over here to the right somewhere. I don't know what I did with it. It happens. I'll come across it when I'm not looking for it. You know how that goes. And we only mess up when we're live, you know. It always shows it in our lives. There's that. There's this. This is my yellow flower journal. I think this turned out pretty. I love that picture. And there's my little buttons. And there's that tuck. This here looks like I put lace on it. That's actually a piece of paper. Look how pretty that paper is. I don't know what paper pad that came from, but it's pretty. And then this here. I love journal flip throughs. This is like ASMR. And here's this one. This paper here is pretty too. Look at that. It's almost like a baby blue, powder blue, with this really pretty floral. And there's the other piece in there, has a little piece of butterfly on it. And these charms are cute. I got a nice, there's the butterflies. I don't know what paper line that is either, but it's pretty. I went to a church sale. They were doing a fundraiser. And that's definitely a book page. And it was fill a box or bag, and they had these bags, and you just donated whatever you wanted. And they had paper pads. It's been retired forever. Like, I've never seen these paper lines before, and I haven't seen them since. So I grabbed them up, and they were heavy. Like, they were like really thick, not like the paper pads we see, but like really a lot of paper. So I know they were old. And then this. And this is finished. And this was a book that fell apart in my bookstore. Oop. You weren't supposed to slide. I didn't wait for it to dry long enough. Stay up there. Don't you move. Bad flower. Bad. Lizzie's going to get her pitchfork after you, bad flower. Okay. That's cute. But Michael bought me a dozen yellow roses, and I took the petals and put them on here. I used clear Elmer's glue. I love clear Elmer's glue. I can't express enough how much better it is than Mod Podge. I just love it, but that's my preference. And then this is what I have sitting next to me from Lizzie. Pitchfork Lizzie. She made me my pokey tool because I hate when my stickles gets clogged. I love this. I think this is so pretty. My favorite color is blue, but I like green too. I like all the colors in between, like aquamarine, the color jade. That's what's on my fingernails. It's like a really pretty. I think this is LA colors. The only thing I don't like about the LA colors fingernail polish is the container where the brushes will stick up inside the lid. That's the only thing I don't like about their nail polishes. But this is my, thank you. This is what I keep next to me with Liz, she's my little pitchfork angel. Her thing sits beside me right here on my desk. And now I have Laura's little pony. And then I bought this off of Viv. This is my little stamp holder, and it's got it's got things in it too, little beads. I broke a bracelet, so I stuck the beads in there. And then this here's, I can't remember if I got this off of Ashley. I can't remember who I got this off of, but this is funny. I love this. This I got off of Viv. This is my light up Santa Claus. Woo! He's supposed to go on the edge of my pencil. And then look at this. You can't beat this brooch. Does this remind you of me? Yeah. The hug collector. And my friend Ty, she bought me the hug dealer t-shirt and mailed it to me. But I love that hug collector. And then this was a piece. It fell off of a tag or something, I think. I had this. This was from Dear Julie. Julie, isn't that cute? A little Valentine thing. I won some giveaways on her channel because she was having us on a scavenger hunt. I've never played one of those. She did something this past Christmas. I didn't really care about the prizes, to be honest. I had fun doing it. She would give you a hint in a video about, like, I made this journal and something about the name or something. You had to know something specific, but you had to go watch the video to guess. And then you would come back in her comment section and write the answer to what she asked you. And it was a lot of fun. And she did this for her channel where she picked out prizes for whoever. And then she had alternates. So in other words, if the person that won the prize didn't want it or didn't collect it, then the alternate person would get it. And I won a bunch of stuff on her channel for Christmas. It was fun. I told her, I said, I'm enjoying this little scavenger hunt you have. But it was all about her videos. Like, you didn't have to make anything. I'm terrible at that. I don't like challenges where I got to make stuff. I feel pressured. I'm not good with that. But if it's a video and you send us on a scavenger hunt, I have a ball doing that. I think it's fun. Oh, that's what else I could do tonight. I forgot about that. Ooh, looky here. I laid this aside to do this. Oh, wait a minute. Let me get this. Hold on. Let me get my collection of crap over here together. Yeah, I like those little holders too. Sean, I think they're cute. So this is done except for the last journaling card to stick in it. And then this was what Mousy sent me. Mousy made this for me, Mousy Deb. I love this book. And I forgot I had stuff put aside I wanted to add to her book. She made me a giant glue book to play with. Let me check my glue bottles. Hold on. Okay. Yep, so that's pretty much empty. So let me get the lid. How in the heck did you get in there? Okay, so this can go in the garbage. All right. So I got to bring my camera up to be able to open this book because it's bigger. Lay my glue sideways. I had some things I want to fill in on this particular book, but she made this for me, and it says inspire. So I'm going to go in here to the back because there's a page right here. I have calendar. Some of these come from calendar pages, and some of these are just cards. I can't remember where I found these, or maybe not. Maybe these weren't to add here. Hold on. No, these were tuck ones. These weren't from calendars. I think I found these at a yard sale. Okay. These I kept not to put here because when you flip these over, it tells you the name of the horses and describes them. So I wanted to keep these as regular cards for ephemera. This is my favorite horse of all time. That is a Frisian. And it is 15 to 16 hands high. They are solid black. They are a beautiful, rare breed, high-stepping and very athletic. These were the horses that held our knights back in the day, and they are absolutely beautiful horses. That's my favorite. But yeah, these were saved for something else. So, let's go back through this. See what I want to add in here tonight, because I do have some other things to put in here, but I am going to put these in here too. So, look what she made. Isn't that cute? She really thought this out. This is absolutely adorable. Little scrapbook. And then she put some note papers in here. Always believe something wonderful is about to happen. There's some stickers. There's a little vellum pocket with some goodies in it. An envelope with goodies in it. And then I added this. Bless this hot mess. Every time I go through this, I see something new. I just love this book. Then I colored this and put it in. And then here's a page over here. Okay, so we will take one of the items. This actually came off of a blanket. I have a granddaughter who's left-handed like me, and she loves horses too. She's just followed my footsteps and is absolutely hysterical because she never knew I liked horses or nothing. And my daughter's like, I think you got a clone, Mom. I said, it's in the blood, Jade. It's in the blood. We have a horse-loving DNA in my family. So I bought her a horse blanket for Christmas. And this was the band off of it because she didn't want it. So this is going to be a new addition to my book. This is what we say by junk. We like our junk. Love how this page looks like it's torn. Don't that look cool? I don't know what paper line that is, but it's pretty. So we'll put that there. And then one of my favorite things that I always say is sweet dreams. I've always done that for as long as I can remember. I don't do it on here like I should, but I found this in a magazine. Come on. So I'm going to add this. To the bottom. We love our junk. We love our junk. And then over here, I want to add a little rainbow. See if you can see it. I found this in a magazine, so I cut it out. I'm telling you, people, check your junk mail. You get magazines in the mail or any kind of junk mail. I get all this stuff out of like stuff I get in my mail. I see it and I cut it out. I recycle the rest of it. I love rainbows. They're so pretty. And then I found this. It says, wherever you go, whatever you do, may your guardian angel watch over you. And all I have to say about my guardian angel is good luck, because you're going to need it. My guardian angel definitely has their work cut out for them. That's all I'm saying. I like this because it was a Christmas ornament. That's out of a Bonner's Christmas Ornament magazine. Like the wings on it. I find things in the strangest of places, but it's so cute. So we're going to put that on this page too, because I like it. This is such a fun glue book. And then I have these. These came, I think, in, I forget what magazine. Not Current, but if you get Miles Kimball, Current, Lakeside's a lot of fun to cut out of. But this came out of oh, I know what magazine this came out of. It's a they sell and they always tell you this will be the last magazine you get if you don't order, but they still continue to send them. I can't think of the name of the company. I see the front of the catalog, but I can't, or the magazine, but I can't think of the name of it. But I do know what that one came out of. I just can't think of the name. It'll come to me eventually. So let's put, you're too big. Let me cut you down some. Let's see that right under the hoof. Sorry, horsey. You're about to lose your body. I like its head. He's like, I ain't taking your crap. Look at that face. Let me give it a little pizzazz. We're gonna do this type. that looks better. And I can't remember who it was. There's another company too that'll send you like so much off, like a little coupon if you order off of them, and it comes in an envelope. It's always got like, oh, believe it or not, how the heck did that happen? The lid off of this glue bottle got stuck in this book somehow. That was weird. Tonight's one of those nights, people. My scraps in there. Little scrappy papers. I wish I could remember the name of that. I can't think of it off the top of my head. But anyways. Deep pain. Just gonna make me cut you. Sometimes magazine pages don't want to snip in the We Are Memory Keepers. Hickey jigger. Garbage. I'm gonna put you right there. I keep wanting to call it Liquidators, but I'm not sure. I can't remember the name of the magazine. I don't see it on any of these either. They always have cute stuff like little ornaments and different things in it, whatever the magazine's name is. It's too big. So that'll be the start of another page. Butterflies, horses, and designs. And there's a little bag to put stuff in. Another coloring page I did. This book is just fun. Is who monetized? I'm not getting monetized. Put this here. Who you asking if they're monetized? College. Oops. I chose not to be monetized. I don't want YouTube's money or whoever. They don't pay enough for me. Let's see here. Unless you're like maybe at 1 million subscribers, maybe. I didn't come here for monetization. I came here to have a hobby and to get my bookstore on the ball. YouTube can be utilized as a really good tool if you already have a business. But I don't want to be censored, and I don't care what anybody says. I've seen too many people get monetized on here and they become like beggars. You know, they're always wanting more people, more numbers, and more super chats. And I can't. I mean, I have a Cash App. If a person feels the need to tip my channel, which a few have, they've sent me money through my Cash App or something. I really thank them for that. But really, unless you get super chatted or you have like a join subscription or some kind to bring money in, YouTube really doesn't pay out a lot to be monetized. And they changed the rules, they changed the hours. Like when I first started, all you had to do was get to 1K and get monetized. Then they changed it to where you have to be, that's why everybody was rushing to get to 1,000 subscribers. Now it's not like that. You have to have 4,000 hours watch time plus 1K, and they can change it whenever they feel like it. So I said I don't ever want to rely on somebody like that for money because they change it too much. And then say like politics comes up and you go against something they don't like, they can take your channel down or they can penalize you and stupid shit. And I don't want to be censored. And they have their favorites. Like there's some gamers that I know, you know, they buy a game for like PS4 or something. It's got music in it. Next thing you know, they're in trouble for copyright striking because they paid for a game that's got music that's copyrighted in it. Well, if you pay for the game, you should be able to play what you want. And I think that copyright stuff is crazy. I mean, personally, if I was a musician and I cut a record and one of you guys wanted to play my song, I would feel honored. I would take that as a compliment. I don't understand what the big deal is about playing somebody else's music. But I think what the terms are with YouTube is they think that somebody maybe is watching your channel because they like the song instead of you. So then the song is bringing in the money. I don't know. They got a warped sense of the way they think. I just don't want to play into the game. So I decided when I came here, it was actually about advertising for my bookstore in the first place. And then when I heard about, I didn't even know the common user could be monetized. I thought only famous people could be monetized. You know, like, because I only come here most of the time to listen to music back in the day. That's all I ever used YouTube for, is that and how to do stuff. Like the do-it-yourself network kind of stuff. But I just decided with everything I see in here and the competition and all that other crap on here, I don't compete. I'm not a competitive type person. And I don't care, you know? I mean, I did have some friends at one time that had me excited about it. But then I don't know, it's just the longer you're here, I'm not excited about it anymore. So then as my channel started growing, and you get the offer if you want to be monetized or not, I just refused because I don't want to. So, and you don't have to. There's people on here that can make money other ways, like Nick the Booksmith's not monetized. She's got a lot of people on hers, but she brought her people here. She teaches classes and makes her money that way. Like I sell crafts or I have live sales. I make my money that way. I don't need YouTube's money. I don't think they pay enough. I make more in a live sale than you could make off of YouTube in a month. And a friend of mine told me she's, you know, she doesn't go live really to get, you know, the super chats or whatever. And I think she told me even at like 3K subscribers, she only makes 100 a month. That's nothing. You know what I mean? I mean, it's something. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to sound like a prudish person, but it's not enough to pay your bills. I mean, it might help for what? A little bit of crafts to me. That wouldn't even pay my gas bill, my electric bill. Wouldn't pay anything. So unless you have people coming in, like there's other people I follow, they get like $100 super chats on top. Well, then, yeah, you probably would make money that way. But without the super chats, you really don't make anything. And I can't do the join thing because, you know, there's a lot of YouTubers I really like that have the YouTube button where you can join. And there's a lot that are $5 and something and up. And then, of course, there's some it's $1.99 or whatever. But by the time you even do that with 5 friends, that's a lot of money going out the door. And I can't make that choice. And plus, I don't want to be locked into a payment. The only thing that I'm locked into is Hewitt Packard Insta Ink, which is cheaper than buying the inks. And 2 places, there was one place that I auction, and their channel's 99 cents a month, but that's to weed out trolls. They were getting trolls and getting stuck with money and stuff. So they decided to make a plan where you pay 99 cents a month, and that's Locker Nuts. It's just the lock's beside my name. And the only reason why I joined their channel is because I want to be able to bid, but you can't bid without a lock. So that's really the only person I subscribe to on here for that reason. But the rest of the channels, like, you know, if I'm in a live stream and I have the extra money, like I mod for Ty and she's monetized, there's times I'll be in a stream, and if I have the extra money, I might go ahead and super chat like one of those super stickers or something. You know what I mean? Like, I try to do something like that every once in a while, but other than that, I just can't be locked into it. And we found this out when my husband got hurt. When he hurt his hand, when I was doing makeup, I was locked into Ipsy, BoxyCharm, you know, like different things, subscription boxes, and I had to cancel out of everything because we didn't know what was going to happen with his job and stuff, and I didn't know if I could pay. So, and I'm also locked into StreamYard, but that's it. You know what I mean? I can't do it because if I wanted to follow all my friends, I'd be broke. I have too many YouTube friends on here that I like too much. And a lot of them have the join button, but I just can't join them all. And I don't want to join some and not others because then it's like a favoritism thing. So, I mean, that's just how I look at it. Because you just never know, you know. And with inflation climbing right now, my husband's even talking about turning off the net for a while because our bill is ridiculous through cable. So I don't know what the future holds. So I just enjoy it while I'm here. And then if something like that happens and, you know, we have to turn off the internet for a bit, then, you know, I'm not going to be here except through my phone, maybe. Because I can upload through my phone. It just takes longer. But I won't be having live streams, and then I'd have to cancel StreamYard. But I take things one day at a time, you know, because you just never know what's going to happen. But I do appreciate the YouTubers who don't expect everybody to join when they get the join button, because I have seen pretty dirty down low YouTubers that, like I said, I pointed this, I'm not going to say who it is, but there was a channel who made everybody a moderator that ever came into their channel and was like, you bring your friends and share us out, and, you know, all the YouTube lingo. And they grew their channel like up to 8,000 subscribers pretty fast because they kept sharing them out, doing all this stuff. And then all of a sudden they get the join button and they get monetized. And guess what? They unmodded everybody but who joined their channel to pay. To me, that's a prick job. Because those people might not have been able to afford to do the join, but that's what they did. They dumped all their moderators, and they're like, you're only a mod if you hit the join button, and that's blackmail. So I don't appreciate people that do that kind of stuff. I just don't. I left that channel as soon as they did it too. I will never be subscribed to people who treat people like that. Because even if you don't join the join button, and this is what I love about like Ty, for instance, when she became monetized and I'm a moderator, she doesn't care that I'm not part of her join button. She says, as long as you You share, you watch the videos, whatever you can contribute. That's all. She doesn't ask for more than that. And that to me is a more down to earth YouTuber. It didn't go to her head. And she's a great person. That's why I like being her mod, because I feel the same way. You know, some people can share you out to Facebook if they don't have Facebook and they just visit your channel. To me, that means everything. You know, you don't have to be a part of my join button if I ever had one. I would never expect that of people. But that's just my philosophy. But there's a lot of people on here that are very greedy once they grow and it goes to their head. And I don't know. I see all kinds of people on here. And then I see people who are not greedy. And this is what I do to the people who are greedy. Damn it. This is my damn it doll. I'm going to beat them up. I love my damn it doll. Woo! I can't wait till somebody distributes these out there. I think these are so cute. I think everybody should have a damn it doll. If you get frustrated or you get mad at somebody, smack it. There you go. Look at her face. Love her face. She's cute. That's my little anger management. And most of the time when I use her, I laugh because I think she's just so stinking cute. I meant to put these away and I forgot. So I'm going to put them away now. So my little holder. Deb made this little envelope. See, this was a calendar one in the little pocket. So I stuck my cards in there. So whenever I go to use them, I have them. Hey, Vix! Yes, everybody needs a damn it doll. So that when you get frustrated, you can just go, damn it, damn it, damn it. I love her too. I named her Stella. That's the name of mine. She's Stella. I picked that name because she's a girl I used to work with, and she was funny. Hold on one second. Well, hubby sent me a message.
Interstate shut down. I'll be running late.
Nice. Interstate shut down again for the second night in a row. Last night, though, it was a bad accident. I don't know what the cause is tonight. Oh, my goodness. I do have a question, though. Does anybody else out there own an Android phone? Man, I had a hell of a time with the feature on here. I was so mad. I have a Samsung Android. I like my phone. Hey, Vixie. Well, what happened was my nephew, when my dad was in the hospital, he put out a text message, that's a group. And I understand the reason for it was nice. Wait a minute. The reason for it was nice because we kept each other updated on, how my dad was doing. And I get it. But what happens is on my phone, it doesn't come as a group. Like on Facebook, you'll get a group text and everybody's in one group and then you can choose to leave option. That doesn't happen on an Android. He sent a text and he pulled me into a group, and I think he's on an Apple. He couldn't take me out. They wouldn't let him remove me from the group because I didn't have an Apple phone. I said, well, if you put me in it, you should be able to take me out. Well, what happened on my phone is it shoots different text messages with all their separate numbers. So I'm not technically in a group, but I keep getting messages from every single person. This was so annoying. So I Googled how to remove myself from it's awful. It's awful. I Googled how to remove myself from a group on an Android. And every feature that they said, like they told you go to this name of a button, that name, there's no such button on my phone. Oh my God, it was a nightmare. It took me 3 days to figure out how the hell to remove myself from this damn group text messaging. Because once you're in the group, say I wanted to text my mom a private message between me and her, everybody could read it. And I was having a conversation with my daughter that had nothing to do with my dad, but it was going into the group. And it's like, what the hell? Because we did hats for Easter, and we did Easter bunny hats with the girls, and I posted a picture on my Facebook. But oh my gosh, it was like unbelievable because I could not get out of this group text messaging. And I told him in the future, please do not add me to group text messaging because it drives me nuts. So on an Android, what you really have to do is you have to go to, let me see if I can find it. If anybody's out there using an Android and you want to get out of a text message, this is how you do it. You go into where it says messages and you click the 3 little dots. You will see delete, edit categories, starred messages, settings, and contact us. You click on settings. Then once you're inside of settings, it has conversations, categories, and then it has notifications, block numbers and messages, more settings, emergency alert settings, and about messages. You have to click on more settings. And then once you get into there, it has multimedia messages. It's got text messages, multimedia. You click on the multimedia, and then it says group conversations by default, show when delivered, auto retrieve. Auto retrieve is what you shut off. And once you do that, you no longer get the damn group messages. That's what it took me. But this is what Google tells you to do. Google says, tap on the 3 vertical dots in the upper right corner to open group text message page. Well, guess what? It doesn't say group text messaging. That's not there. That's not a feature. But once you're supposedly to click on the group text messaging, it says select people and options. Guess what? That button's not there either. So then I got a second opinion because you go down, Google, and it tells you different ways to do it. The second option was how to escape a group text on Android. Number 1, navigate to the group text. There is no group text. There is no listing that says that. And then it says number 2, tap on the 3 vertical dots. And then at 3, it says tap on the bell to mute conversation. The only time that bell pops up is if it's a single person. If somebody messages me like my mom, let's see here. I'll show you an example what I'm talking about. Okay, we'll do my husband. See, there's Mike. So he messages me. I can go to the 3 dots up here and see where the little bell is. Oh, crap. It closed. Hold on. Nope, that's not it. Wait a minute. Okay, you'll see delete messages, search and all that, and you go down here to that little bell. They were saying that all you have to do is undo that, but that has nothing to do with the group. That just means this message is muted. But if you go to the top, like I said, you go into messages. Okay. The 3 dots, they said you go to group. There is nothing that says group there. Nothing whatsoever. Or it tells you to look for the word people. That's not there either. This is all you get. And it made it look like all I had to do was block my nephew to be able to stop getting the messages. Well, I don't want to block my nephew. So I had to go into, see, good. Okay, this is just a single person. All messages are here. You click on this, you still don't have it. It says delete, edit, starred messages and settings. I had to click on settings and then see where it says more settings. There's nothing about group anywhere on here. Nothing with the word people in it. So I had to go to more settings. Then I had to hit multimedia. Then you get the word group. And I had to turn all these off, but those were already off. I was getting group conversations without this group even turned on. It was the auto retrieve I had to turn off. I don't know. It's crazy. But when you go to Google and you type it in, how to stop group text messaging, this is what it tells you to do. Go to the 3 vertical in the upper right and group text. There was no word that said group, and there was no group. It says people and options. And then this is the second one. Navigate to group, and there is no group text. They shoot out as individuals. And then it says tap the bell to mute the conversation. You only have that on each individual one. I don't know. It's messed up. They don't have the right instructions on Google on how to fix that. Stuff like that gives me a tech headache. Now I'm running into another problem. I just bought a new laptop. I have an HP printer down here. Just bought a brand new laptop and it has Windows 11 in it. You get this feature called S mode. I had to turn it off because everything that's not Microsoft, it won't allow into this laptop. Well, now I can't scan. It won't let me scan from my freaking printer. It's so irritating. I spent 2 hours. I gave up on that. I haven't figured that out yet, but I can print something like if I'm, in my browser and I want to print, it'll print from my printer, but it will not let me make a shortcut to my printer and it will not let me use my scanner. And I'm like, but Windows 11 came with this one. And my last one was it was Windows 7 with 10 downloaded over top of it, but it was slow. It was a Toshiba laptop and I had to disconnect it because it's so slow. It's ridiculous. And I cleaned it off and it's still not working. It's just old. But it will let me scan, but this one here won't for some reason. So I'm figuring maybe it might be it's plugged in by a cord, so it's not a cordless printer. It actually is corded to the laptop because I plugged it in, but I'm thinking that maybe there might be a cordless option that's not open, like it's not catching it for the printer, but it's still no excuse why it won't let me make a shortcut. I like a shortcut to my printer on my laptop because whenever I open it, my Insta Ink for my HP, that's how they read it to know when I'm running low. And then they'll automatically bill me. And I'm telling you, if you do not have HP Insta Ink, there's something wrong. Because I was paying almost $70 for 2 cartridges, and I pay like $3 and something and for both. It's an auto refill, and it's amazing. They read when my black's starting to run out, and it automatically, I get charged $3 and something. I can run off 50 pages off of each cartridge, or 50 to 100 pages. Or I mean, they charge you for 50. Like, I mean, you get 50 free. If you run over that, they charge you like $1 a page or something like that. I don't know. It's not a lot though, because I never run over because I have 2 printers on it. So I get, out of both cartridges, I get about 100 pages actually more than 100 pages because the cartridges are bigger than the normal size, but they still fit in your slot. It's really weird how they're made, but they fit in your slot of your printer. And when they see, I get like a tricolor in, and then a black ink will come in at separate times, but I never run out of ink. They constantly see my levels and boom, it's shipped. And I love it. But if you don't use your 50 pages, it rolls over. So there was like a whole month I wasn't running off my printer. I had like 150 pages I could run off for free because I had a rollover from the ones I didn't use. But like I never need more than that. So it's like it's awesome. I love it because I could run off digitals and everything and I never run out of ink and it's amazing. But I can't figure out how to use the scanner down here on Windows 11. And Windows 11 is not the same as 10. They had to move the features yet again. It's like, I don't know why they have to fix what's not broken. It gets frustrating. It's like, leave it alone. So I got to figure out how to do it. Because you can't even drag and drop to your desktop to get a shortcut. It's ridiculous. You got to go into their file explorer and you can make shortcuts for certain things, but the printer is not an option for some reason. It's just not showing up. It's craziness. So one thing I hate is, I used to love staying on top of tech stuff, but I don't like it anymore because it's such a pain. It's time consuming. Very time consuming. My camera must be crooked. It is. Oh, I'm tired. Excuse me. I laughed so hard today. Oh my gosh. Vix, did you see the Tim Holtz alcohol blower? Oh my gosh, I never laughed so hard in my life. Poor Liz, poor Sandy, and poor Mousy Deb. I was laughing so hard sharing messages with them today on Facebook Messenger. It was just so freaking funny. They showed this. Tim Holtz, this came in my email. It's the alcohol ink blower for $11.99. And apparently they use alcohol inks and they push this thing and it blows the ink around. And I said, what the heck is the difference between that at $11.99 and a baby snot sucker for $6.49? We laughed so freaking hard. I said I would never use one of these things on my babies, but I'll tell you what, it is the same freaking thing. Because you push. We just laughed. I said, it's a snot sucker. Literally. And it's the same thing, but you pay more money. Because you turn that over and pump it and it blows the ink around. We were laughing so freaking hard. And somebody said he tells people you can use straws or something. You could blow through straws. I'm not blowing on my ink through a straw. This was so funny. These conversations were hysterical. I said, I've heard it all. I said, when my babies were little, I would use a Q-tip. I would never use one of these things on them because I always thought it looked like it would take their breath away. But it's the same tool. Well, really, though, when you push it, it gives the same kind of air. It doesn't matter if it's really small or if you think about it. I want to see somebody buy this one that has the Tim Holtz, and I want to see them see the difference. Because this is what you stick in your baby's nose to, you pull, but you can blow out of it too. It doesn't have to be a sucker. It's a blower. It's the same thing. I think it's hysterical because this one's a lot cheaper. It's like the only thing that's different is the point. But it has the same effect because all you do The point really doesn't matter because all you want to do is blow the alcohol ink around. I don't know, but I think that's absolutely funny. I was dying. And then I follow Nikki Swift, who is she talks about like the updates of the celebrities. And on top of the blower, this came up. Celebrities who actually farted live while on TV part 3. Oh my gosh, this video is hysterical. I did nothing but laugh today. I was laughing so hard, my ribs hurt. Anybody want to watch a funny video? Nikki Swift puts out some really funny ones. And her commenters are funny too. Somebody commented under that video, is it so slow in Hollywood that you have to talk about celebrities farting? That was the comments are even funnier. And I just put laughy faces in her comments. I said, that is absolutely hysterical. Because it isn't just celebrities, it's even news people. I think it's absolutely funny. But I guess I just get amused easily. I don't know, but I thought that was funny. And then I like watching Glenn Beck on how to survive food shortages and different things like that. I like Glenn Beck's channel. He's also Blaze TV. And there's a few preppers on here too that are fun to watch. I'll put some links in the room I'll share. If you're ever not busy during late night. These are some channels that you can watch that are funny or interesting, I mean, too. Let me find this one. I got to go into my history to find it. These are people who share, like, you can go to the FDA website, but I kind of like these preppers because some of this stuff I already have. But it's interesting because they tell you foods and the longevity of shelf life, and if a person doesn't know, that is, what foods and stuff like that. It's really interesting channel. If I can find them. Hold on here. Here they are. They're called Under the Median. Healthy pantry foods that never expire. Hey, I like educating people too on different channels on here because it's interesting. Here's another one. They're a good channel. What do you mean? What kind of media do I consume? You mean if I want to find out the news? Is that what you're asking me, college? Well, I'm definitely not a gamer. I would think in an emergency situation, everybody should have a radio with batteries. So that's definitely a must. Most of the time, I never listen to the radio. If I'm in my car, I do, but most of the time it's usually for what's going on traffic-wise. I do not get the newspaper because I have YouTube. Anytime I wanna know what's going on, I Google it. And then, of course, I've got thousands of books. I mean, there's no doubt about it because I have a used bookstore. I've got, like, everything. Well, except what I can't say everything. There's one book I have not come across because a while ago I did an educational purge, and I think Liz was asking me if I had a nurse's book, and I don't have that one. I don't have a nurse's book that I've come across yet. I have, like, medical aid encyclopedias, like, stuff like that, but I don't have a specific nursing book. I do have, like, an elderly care book, like, around it, but not nursing. And I do save, um we still get phone books here. They drop them out beside our because of advertising. They drop them by our mailboxes in plastic bags usually. So I get like 2 or 3 phone books a year, and I do save those because if we need toilet paper, to be honest, that is one of the best books you can possibly use is your phone book. If you crunch up the paper and uncrunch it a few times, the pulp gets softer and in the paper, and it makes it nice to use as toilet paper. Well, the whole thing about, I don't literally watch the news and stuff because it's depressing all the time. Like I have a weather app and stuff, but I also disagree with people saying they never watch the news. I think people should still know what's going on around us. I don't think they should be depressed and watch all the depressing shows, but like this war with the Ukraine and Russia, I believe it's important. Do you have to watch it every day? No, you don't, but you should be alert of knowing what's going on. And I have no sympathy for people that don't vote because you should. Being that it's a free thing that you're entitled to, you should do it. And those same people like to bitch about the things, and I don't feel they have the right to. If they didn't vote, they don't have the right to complain. They could complain about what's going on, but they don't have to complain about who's in office if they don't help vote for them. But I do think that people should be alert to certain things around them, yes. So I don't avoid the news all the time, but I don't wanna watch something depressing every day either. So, like, every so often, I like it for the alerts. But most of the time, I get alerts anyways because usually the heading of, like, I knew about the New York shooting and stuff because it's always the headings when something catastrophic you don't have to really search for it. Sometimes I just get pop-up notifications for stuff like that. But I do like to be aware. I just don't want to be, surprised by things. I do like being in the know a little bit. And, but I would have to say probably the most I have a cable box upstairs. I don't have HBO or none of that crap. I don't even have basic cable. I have an antenna that brings in 3 channels on my regular TV, but I have cable for my internet, and I have a box that's filled with a bunch of apps, and I can go pick what I wanna watch. I pay for AMC Plus, I pay for Netflix, and I pay for Hulu. And I go in and we have Peacock free, to buy free. Like there's a bunch of apps mixed in this box that they sent us. Some of it's free, some of you choose to pay for it if you want to pick it up. But I like AMC Plus because it's got The Walking Dead on it. It's got Fear the Walking Dead, and then there's going to be a new spinoff, I think in 2023, of Carol and Daryl off of The Walking Dead. I love that show. I didn't think I would like it till I started watching it. We're like addicted, me and my husband both. So Hulu's nice because it has a lot of older shows on it. Like I never got to finish because I was working. So I never got to finish like the Army Wives series. I watched almost every season until Claudia Joy died. And then it was like, it depressed me because one of my main favorite characters died off the show. But I didn't get to see the rest of it because I was working a job where I couldn't. So I got to finish watching seasons. I never got to see the rest of Melrose Place either. They have Melrose Place, they have Ally McBeal, they have Army. They have a lot of shows I like back in the 90s, and I never got to see how they finished. So it was nice to go back and rewatch them and see. And I love Criminal Minds. But Criminal Minds only has season 1 to, I can't remember what it goes up to on Netflix, but they don't have all the seasons. And when I picked up one of the other stations, it has the rest of Criminal Minds clear up to season 15. So I was able to finish watching it. I hate the way some of the apps split shows. Like they'll give you so many seasons of NCIS and then they cut it off. That's so irritating. But I did get to watch NCIS and with the dark haired guy, not with the redhead. I got to see all those seasons. And another show I love is This Is Us. And This Is Us also plays on one of the apps. I think it's Hulu. And another thing on Hulu is Grey's Anatomy. And I love that show. Oh God, do I love that show. And then of course Peacock, Tubi is kind of a little behind, but Peacock has some updated stuff on it too. Oh, I love Criminal Minds. But you know, it took a while for me to get used to the new guy. I loved Gideon. He was so awesome. And I wished he would have stayed on the show. He was one of my favorites, but I could not pick a team. You know, like if you know how they had team for each character in the show, because that show was just everything. You know, just watching Baby Girl and them two talking to each other. and I liked the nerdy guy. I like him too. I mean, I like all of them. Like every single one of the characters had their own part in that show. But they changed the dark-haired girl 3 times. The original dark-haired girl, I was Prentice. I really liked the girl that played Prentice. She did her part good, and I really loved AJ. AJ was another one, but I loved all of Criminal Minds. Like that whole show. I truly believe the reason why they lasted for 15 seasons was definitely the characters that they picked to play the parts, because every one of those characters was awesome. Yeah, it did. It did. But I like the way Gideon would explain things and they would show all the like the scenario around him. Like I don't know. I just really loved when he was on the show. But Penelope, oh my God, nobody could beat Penelope. She was such a nerd. I loved her. She was cute, but she was nerdy. They just did a wonderful job. And her and those little fluffy pencils of hers. She would sit there. Oh my gosh, she was so funny. She had her own little character going on, for sure. And another show that I like that's on too right now, that's running is Yellowstone with Kevin Costner. Oh, that's such a good show. But I think the special friendship between Penelope and Shamar Moore, um, there's something just so special in that friendship that's just so sweet. And then AJ and, you know, Spencer, I mean, if I had to pick, I really like Spencer. You know, the way he's so nerdy and you could tell he's a prankster. And I remember when they talked about him behind the scenes for real, that he was always pulling pranks on people, and I could see that, but he played his part so well. Could you imagine having to act that intelligent all the time? But I like the way he figured out puzzles, like, when there would be so many words in, like, a book page or something. I don't know, it's just every single one of those characters played such an amazing part to pull that show off, and 15 seasons is a long time. Ally McBeal lasted only 5 seasons, like, that's a really long time for a show. And Army Wives, I think let me see, I can't remember how many seasons, let me look it up real quick. Army Wives only lasted for 7 seasons. Like I said, if you look up some of the sitcoms, it's, like, amazing that they lasted for 15 because that is a long time. Yes, Gideon and Spencer were close too. Yes, Garcia, she was so funny. Yellowstone is more for people who like cowboys and rodeos, and I do, I like country too, so I like that show. But Grey's Anatomy, I was never into that show when it aired and when it started, but I started watching it and I really liked it because, you know, after you get past all the soap opera part in it, when it got to the COVID and showed what was going on in the hospitals, they really covered a lot of teaching of what was going on at the time. But God, then people would make your head spin. This one's sleeping with that one and having an affair with this one. It's like, what the hell? That shit gets on my nerves. I'm not much for that kind of the part of it, but I enjoyed the medical part of the show. Like when they would show the procedures as patients would come into the ER, and they did cover a lot of things even for a show. They covered a lot of factual things. Like, you know, they made me think about something actually that I brought up and was talking to my mother about it. You know, with my dad having open heart surgery and everything here recently, there was an issue that the show made me think about something because we got to do our wills. Every time like I go in the hospital, they ask me if I have a living will, which I don't. But I would have to say the biggest thing that I picked up that I wanted to know about off of Grey's Anatomy was the DNR. And when you have a DNR signed, this is something that I want to talk about with a lawyer too, because it's different state to state. You know, like every state's different, I guess. But I want to find out the laws with it because I worked with a patient in private care who her husband was a lawyer and she had a couple of her children were lawyers. And I didn't get a chance to ask them about this. So I didn't really think about it at the time. But she had a DNR signed, and her daughter told me, she says, "So if my mom doesn't, quits breathing, you can't do CPR or anything." Well, in her circumstance, I can understand because she had cancer. She was doing chemotherapy and then she quit. So, she knew that she was full of cancer and that she wasn't going to make it. So I can understand, but this was my thing. There was an episode in Grey's Anatomy because sometimes I'm like, no shades of gray area. Sometimes I'm like, it's either a yes or a no type of thing. But then sometimes I feel like there's a shade of gray with some things because I'm like, okay. So I have a friend's mother who, and this is true stuff, who every time, she has a reaction to anesthesia. So every time she goes in, she's afraid when she goes in, it takes her longer to wake up from the anesthesia because it can happen. Well, during one of the episodes, well, actually a couple of the episodes in Grey's Anatomy, they had put a person under and they were in the middle of doing a surgical procedure and like one of the people operating actually messed up and clipped something they shouldn't have, and they were trying to stop it, the bleeding. Well, in the process of stopping the bleeding, the person flatlined. The person had a DNR order in their folder, but they went ahead and resuscitated him anyways because it was against the order, actually. I don't know if they could have gotten in trouble for this. I don't know the liability on this, but there was nothing wrong with this patient. They didn't have a terminal illness. This patient, it was just a procedure, an accident happened. They brought him back because there was no reason this person shouldn't have been resuscitated, is what I'm saying. So my question would be to a lawyer, can you put a stipulation in a DNR where I would only want a no resuscitation if I had a lethal illness I knew I was not going to come back from, or if I would come back and I would be brain dead, then of course you would pull the plug. But I don't want to say no DNR, put yes a DNR, like do not resuscitate. What if a person has a allergic reaction to the anesthesia, or what if somebody messes up during the surgery and you flatline? And there's nothing else wrong with you. I would want to come back from that. I would not want to not come back from that and still have a life. You know what I mean? I just feel that there's reasons you would have a DNR, but can you stipulate that? Or if you put in do not resuscitate, is that just the final word? That's my question. And I did think of those things when I was watching Grey's Anatomy because that happened a couple times. And one of the family members was like, they put do not resuscitate, but they brought him back anyways because that person did bounce back and they did where they were not brain dead. They were perfectly fine. It's just things to think about. When you're filling out your will, you really, and you're living will and, giving the people rights to do things, you just want to think of those things. But like I had an uncle who, he fell off a ladder and he went to a hospital and his daughter, he was up and talking just like we are. And then all of a sudden he slipped into a coma and he went brain dead because they was bleeding on the brain and they didn't catch it. And when you're brain dead, you can't, there's no reason to come back from that. You know what I mean? He's on a machine and there's no activity whatsoever. But he did not have a DNR or anything, so that, his kids and stuff and all of us were there at the hospital and they felt a comfort when they asked his mom, the aunts and uncles, what should we do? Because the kids were in shock, mourning their dad. And they said if there's no brain activity, then they would just pull the plug and let him go. And I don't blame them for making that choice because I had a friend who worked in a continuous care, and she said it's really sad because there was a lady who'd been in there for 10 years. Totally a vegetable. and they will not let her go. That's torture. You know, she has no brain activity, and she's a vegetable living on a machine, and they have to go in every day and clean this poor lady, and they have to exercise her legs and everything, but she's dead. And I think that some of these people get in their head that when they don't want to let go of a loved one, well, maybe something in technology will come later to bring them back. But you know what? Once you're brain dead, I don't think I've never heard of anybody bouncing back from brain dead. And that's where I think it's horrible, because I would not want to be kept alive like that. So I don't know. There's just so many things to think about, especially when, I just think that some people love some people so much that they don't take certain things into consideration when they do stuff like that. But I don't know. But I do want to have that question answered on the DNR, because I want to know. My mom watched that. She used to watch the Guiding Legs, Young and the Restless and all that stuff, but we watched it for a little while, but heck, I don't remember half the characters on them shows anymore. I haven't watched since Mrs. Chancellor was alive. That was a long time ago. I think it was before she even passed away. My mom used to watch Search for Tomorrow. She had a bunch of her favorite soaps. She even liked Dallas and nighttime soaps too. Now I like the three, when they would do trilogies that came out, like, oh my gosh, my favorite trilogy is when Nicolette Sheridan played in Jackie Collins as Lucky. Oh, that was one of my favorite shows, and I have all the books to that series too. I love Jackie Collins books. But Lucky was just awesome. She had she made one when Lucky was little too. I think it was Rich Bitch was the last one to that one. I have that one too. I haven't read that one yet, I don't think. Because she wrote that before she passed away. She died of cancer too. It's depressing when you lose your favorite authors, but Jackie Collins, if you've never read her book, I could read one of her novels in like 2 hours. Like, she captures your attention. Fast-paced California lifestyle, and I cannot put her books down. She's just that good of a writer. But my true crime writer who passed away that I absolutely loved her books was Anne Rule. She was my favorite true crime, and she always will be my favorite true crime writer. She was amazing. She used to be a police officer, and she actually knew Ted Bundy. Like, in person, she knew Ted Bundy. He worked at a place they worked at one point, and they didn't know he was a serial killer. It was very interesting. But Anne Rule, her style was, she categorized it right. Like, there was another true crime author. I can't think of who it was. It was called, I think the book was called like Little Boy Blue or something. And it was about a dad that took his son on a serial killer spree. That book sucked. Like, it literally took me 5 months to read it, and I struggled. It just was terribly written. Like, you would be reading it, and it would flip back and forth into the past to the present, and you didn't know where the hell you were. It was one of those tapes that you could not, if you put it down after reading a couple chapters, you didn't know where the hell you were when you picked it back up. And I can't stand books like that. And it was horrible, because it definitely was not a time framed, properly written book. That was probably the worst true crime book I've ever read in my life. I couldn't wait to heck, I didn't even want to put it in a yard sale. It sucked so bad. I said, I wouldn't wish this book on anybody. But Rosamund Pilcher, She rates in college level. And you can't, and I remember when I was in college, they tested. Danielle still writes in a, what they say, 8th grade level or something like that. And you can tell the difference. Like, I love Danielle Steele books too. I like her too for my own personal reasons, but she doesn't write in college level. And it's amazing how many books out there aren't written like that because they want to reach an audience that can understand. But Rosamund Pilcher does write in college level. And I remember the first time I read her books, I was like, "Hey?" I mean, there was a lot of big words in there. But I like my thesaurus too, so I lived in my thesaurus. But it's just she was more harder to read than the other writers. But I like Danielle Steele because she wrote a book called Hope. Let me see what it's called. It was all the 100% of the proceeds to this book went to the homeless. And it's let me find it. Danielle Steele book about the homeless. It's called A Gift of Hope. And you can actually find this. Let me pull the picture of it up. You can find this on the thrift for $5.29. That is a must read for people who want to learn about the homeless. That was so good. And she had a son who was manic depressive bipolar who died. And she wrote a book in his memory too. And let me tell you, it was good. It was really good. And she also gives money to she has a mental health place, I think, to educate people about bipolar and stuff. She gives money to that. And I really like her for that reason. And she's more than she's not your typical romance writer. Like she's considered romance, but her books, like if you go back to her first books, like The Ring and all that, she writes a lot about the war in Germany. And a lot of behind the scenes that she sticks in there is actual history. But she'll twist it like a German soldier and a young girl, and they had an affair during, I mean, that's where the romance comes in. But when you look at the historical part of the story, that was all true. And her books are interesting to me that way because they don't always have happy endings. Like she's got this one book, she starts out, and then a few chapters later, the main character dies. Like she doesn't write like a Harlequin. Like when you sit and read Harlequin romances, they like all end the same. They have a different twist, but everybody lives happily ever after and blah, blah, blah. Her books are not like that. And that's one of the reasons why I've always liked her. But my favorite that she wrote, and she don't read because she says she's always afraid to plagiarize because she's an author. She don't want to plagiarize any of her works. So she doesn't like to read other people's work because of that reason. And I kind of don't blame her because she said she's afraid it'll stick in her subconscious. She did a YouTube interview if you look her up, and I like reading her stuff. But my favorite book of hers was called Palomino. No, it's not about a horse. But if you it's got a Palomino horse on the cover, but that's my favorite out of all the books she ever wrote. And the synopsis for Palomino, this is what it says. Palomino is the color of a woman's hair. They call her Palomino because of her hair, because of her yellow hair, blonde hair, whatever you want to call it. That's where the name comes from. It's not about a horse. But it says Samantha Taylor is shattered when her husband leaves her for another woman. She puts her advertising career on hold and seeks refuge at a friend's California ranch where she loses herself in the daily labor of ranch life. Here she discovers the healing power of trusted friends, simple joys, and hard work. And it is a good book. It is a really good book. And they did turn it into a movie. So it was turned into me. I didn't like who she picked for the characters, but it the book is better. And the one she wrote about her son is His Bright Light. It says in her powerful memoir, His Bright Light, New York Times bestseller Danielle Still opened her heart to share the devastating story of the loss of her beloved son. A Gift of Hope is the homeless one. She shows us how she transformed that pain into a campaign of service that enriched her life beyond what she could imagine. But A Gift of Hope, helping the homeless. If you look up the book His Bright Light, let me see if I can get it up here. This is her son. His face is on the front of the book. And this is the true story of her son that she lost. His name was Nick Trina. Says the story of Nick Trina at the bottom. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's blurry. There it is. His Bright Light, and that's her son. And he fought manic depressive bipolar disorder, and it was a really good book. Really good book. She really poured her heart out. And in every single one of her books, she donates to her kids. The whole list of her kids is in the front of her books and all the books she's ever written. But it's just, there's so many things I've read about her that she just amazes me as an author. And then I have all her hardbacks, by the way. I have 2 full bookshelves that almost reach the ceiling in my one room, and they are loaded with her books. That's how much I love her as an author. And then I have some of Ann Rules, I have Jackie Collins, and I like some of James Patterson. He's another favorite. My favorite 2 books from James Patterson are Sunday at Tiffany's and Suzanne's Diary for Nicholas. And let me tell you, that is another book. Suzanne's Diary for Nicholas is something that when you first start in it, you're like, huh? You know, it's one of those type of books, but let me tell you, you will love that book at the end. When all of it falls into place and you understand it, it all comes together. It's one of those books that has a very surprise ending. And it's a little lost at first because you're like, what the hell's going on? What is this person talking about? And it doesn't make any sense. Stay with it because it is very good. And I like that too. You know, like sometimes you read a book and the ending's predictable and sometimes it isn't. That's one of the books that's not predictable. And I do like those. Most of the times when I read a book, I go out, and this is how bad I was even as a teenager. I never read the synopsises. I would always just look at a cover, look at the title, and be like, okay, I'm going to read that. And I don't want to know anything about it because I like surprises. I love to read a book and it just open up and surprise me with everything. And was the one I just read recently was Guilty Wives. and it was written by James Patterson with another author. That was a really good book. Really good book. And right now I'm reading. I'm a little bit behind in reading because this has been out for a while. But I'm reading Valerie Bertinelli's book, Losing It. And she talks about her life being married to Eddie Van Halen and her weight loss and her stardom and how she became famous and how she felt, and the Jenny Craig and all that. I mean, like, she really covers her whole life and how she felt, through stardom and all that. I'm kind of like into those kind of books right now, where I kind of want to read biographies of people, and every so often I'll switch to like a true crime, or not even true crime, but like just a fast paced kind of book, like a mystery whodunit. But I read Melissa Gilbert's Prairie Tale. She's the one that played Laura Ingalls on Little House on the Prairie. She has a book out that I read, and I do like that because to me they're educational when they talk about their experiences through life. Because that's like my bookstore is funny. I had a guy come in here from the city and he says, I love the way you have your bookstore set up because I'm not the library. So you're not going to find a sci-fi section and an action suspense. It's all mixed together. And my educational section in my bookstore is everything I think you can learn from. So if I have a book that's, I don't know, it could be the medical encyclopedia to a person's biography of their life to how I deal with my marriage going bad. All my self-help books and biographies and everything are under educational. I like it that way. He says you make people look at things they don't normally look at when they go into a store, because I think that sometimes the library just categorizes things just a little too much. And then I have like my Amish books, and I have ones that I feel that they have no smut in them, but they're very educational to families for forgiveness and things like that. I call them my inspirational section. And then I have, of course, young adult, which has got Moby Dick and things like that in it. And then my children's section is all kids' books with mainly pictures and stuff like that, until like my kids section is kind of divided because I have all the little kids books, and then I have books that don't really have a lot of pictures in it, but they're more for middle school kids. So those are in the young adults, like Babysitter's Club and all those type of books that don't have any pictures or very little. I put those in the young adult section with like Moby Dick and all that, because to me that's where you really want to focus on reading and not so much on the pictures. And then I have military, which is true military books. And then I have a religious section. My crafting section's filled with a bunch of different things. And then I have sets of books. Like they can be just like entire sets of maybe like American Dolls as a set, and another, and all the sets go on a different bookshelf. I don't mix those in with the kids' books, but I tell people they're there. And that's how my store is set up. Very simple. And then I have a romance section, and then my action and suspense consists of anything that's got you on the edge of your seat. So it can be sci-fi, it can be, made up war books, or like Tom Clancy and all that, or it can be a whodunit. Those are all in my action suspense. You just got to find it, what you're looking for, because I like it that way. To me, that makes sense. And I don't know about you guys, but I know when I was a kid, we would go into the store to get cough medicine. You'd be lucky to have 3 choices. Now you stand in Walmart and you're talking like 2 rows of nothing but cough medicines. And you're like, it takes you a half an hour just to sit there and pick out what you want. Because one's if you got a sore throat, one's if you're sneezed. It's just too much. of specific categories. You know what I mean? That's why I did what I did in my bookstore, because I wanted people to come here and see things faster and easier and not have to stand in different sections or ask me, what book does this fall under? It's simple. And I had a couple elderly people that loved it. They were like, we can come in here, we find our stuff like that, because you don't have so many different categories that we can't find stuff. And that's what I wanted. Make it simple, sweet and simple. So when I do my synopsis on here, when I start bringing my books back, they'll be coming back soon, because I got to get rid of books. Oh, I got so many books. I will do like a whole month of romance or a whole month of action and suspense. You'll see what they are. I've got lots of videos done on my playlist under books that I've gotten rid of and sold. And what I do is I'll say, okay, say the whole month of February is romance because it's Valentine's month. I'll read the synopsis of 10 books per video. You'll see what the books look like, because I show the conditions they're in and all that good stuff. I make sure you have the story, because I go through every single book that comes through here to make sure there's no pages ripped out and such. And I'll read the synopsis, and then people will, they have clear to the end of the month to tell me what books, because you don't got to buy it by that lot. I have them done by lots, but you don't have to buy all 10. I have it set up where you just tell me the name and the author, and people will message me, and I'll make a list. And then at the end of the month, then I will send out the bill, like the billing for it. I'll load it up in my Etsy store, and then people just go through Etsy and pay it, so I can do the labels and stuff that way. And plus I have my own scales and all that crap. But that's how I do my book sales. And then whatever doesn't sell by the end of the month goes into a yard sale that we have once a year and on the Facebook marketplace. And if they don't sell there, then they get donated. So they got 3 chances to find a home, because the whole thing about my bookstore is I was trying to save books from going to the landfill. And the places that I donate them to, they do recycle. At least that's what they told me. So that I know they're not going to end up in the landfill. And of course, if they're falling apart, I recycle them myself, because I know a place where I drop off recycling to. But they've got 3 chances with me to find a home. And then they get donated. And then what they do with them, they do with them. So nobody can say I do not give books a chance. And nobody can say I just rip books apart because I feel like it. I only rip the books apart and make them into journals if they do not sell. I bring everything to sale first. So I love it when people say, oh, you're tearing a Reader's Digest apart. Well, honey, it's been through all the sales I could possibly give it. And if nobody wants it, well, then it's going to be torn apart. If I like the cover. And that's how I do it. But they get a chance first. So that's how I roll where books are concerned. You be quiet. You making pizza? Okay, it sounds good. All right. Yes, I am. I'm going to roll a paddle across your butt if you don't watch it, mister. You hear him? He's going blah, blah, blah. Yes, I talk to my husband the way I talk to people on here. It's fun to pick on my hubby. But I need to catch up on some stuff. I'm behind. Got behind. Well, good night, Vix. You have a good one. I don't know why your text didn't show up in one place, but it did the other. Have sweet dreams. I probably missed her. So what have you been working on, college? You fixing anything lately? You working on any new projects? Let me nib. What have you been up to lately? Oh, I like your thumbnail, old shit. You're so funny. Oh, I got behind on your channel. Last thing I watched was how to set the pricing on your jukebox. I'm gonna have to catch up. I missed 3 of them. Buddha? You found a Buddha statue? You went dumpster diving? I'm jealous. We can't dumpster dive here. It's illegal. That's not fair. Looks like you've been busy. Did you ever join my Facebook? I can't remember if you did or not. Are you still here, mister? I guess he left. Alrighty. Well, I think I'm going to go too because I'm going to go upstairs and I'm going to watch some TV and eat some pizza. So thanks everybody for coming in that came in. And you all have a wonderful evening. In whatever time zone you're in, I hope you're having a great one and I'll see you soon. Bye.